Welcome back. We are back. All right. So, other than break for bathroom and drinks, which I did get some, and applesauce, which I'm enjoying greatly because I made it myself.
Look at the size of this freaking grape, by the way.
That is a really large grape. Is that one of the globe grapes?
No, this is just green grapes. They're just really big. They're really big.
That's weird. Anyway, let's dive back into it and stop talking about random food facts because grapes and applesauce are tasty. Because it is delicious.
I have water.
I do too. I don't have a juice today with me. I thought about grabbing some, but I didn't. But, so, here's where we stand. You remember that the treasure about him getting the treasure and the artifacts ended up having him cursed. Thorn. And that he was linked to it, to that treasure. He was some kind of undead because of it, like some kind of vampire. And that when he died, his ashes spread over the treasure. So, there's a chance that, there's still a connection to him because there was a curse seemingly related to it that created him as an undead.
Mm-hmm.
Though, when you detected magic on the treasure itself, it did not seem to be like, oh no, I'll be cursed too for picking it up, it's...
Of course.
What he did in his life got the curse on him, but he was linked to that treasure because of it.
Okay.
So, what do you folks want to do now? It's going to be your second shift. Or getting to be your second shift.
I think it's wiser to go and snoop around when we're off shift, or when we're supposed to be off shift, because that's when it won't be surprising when we're not seen.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to work through another shift?
Work.
Yes.
I will work. I will. He
Yes.
will.
You'll work and he'll supervise. You missed a spot. Oh yes, the barnacles that you marked aren't the same. But there are barnacles of similar size and shape, just in a different spot,
Okay. Got it. Magically cursed ship to always be barnacleized. That people continue to clean, despite. Okay.
It seems as though no matter how much they clean it, it always comes back.
Always have a purpose.
And you get a feeling that maybe they're keeping it from getting worse?
It's probably like, the cycle where it's like, you continue scrubbing, but, it gets dirty about as fast as you clean it, so it stays.
Yeah. And in this case, it grows horrible. So the sea itself is trying to consume the ship, and they're trying to fight against that.
Okay.
They probably for the same respect, they probably have the bilge running 24/7. You're assuming too.
Mm-hmm.
So through another shift, and then it is becoming the shift time again. What are you doing at that point in time?
When we are about to start switching shifts and everything, I just casually nudge Burn into a few other of our crewmates.
I go along with it.
Okay. One of them, watch it, flesh bag!
And while all the yelling is going on, I'm going to try to be sneaky and go to that door.
Okay, give me a stealth with advantage then. Alright.
And after you go to the door, I am going to mage hand the lock back on top of it.
Okay. Alright. You'll find yourself in what's best described as a small kind of storage room, but with another outside of it, to your left, Crawl. What's stored in here just seems to be pretty much nothing at this point in time, except random barrel that smells awful. Just like emanation from it. It smells like you're hanging around dead people, and that's pretty bad smell sometimes because they are kind of like in this course of like undead decay. This is like 100 times worse.
Like concentrated undead decay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Maybe he does eat it. So
There are a couple like other empty barrels, crates, and stuff around in here.
I'm gonna hold my breath and take a peek in that barrel.
Oh yeah. There's some kind of like
Also,
ichor.
I just want to.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say what my character's doing. I'm gonna try and delay as long as possible, so when Craw comes back, I can unlock it for him.
Okay, sounds good.
Enjoy the whip.
I'm definitely getting the whip, but
You probably are. It's worse when you open the barrel.
Oh, I was holding my breath.
I know,
so.
but it's like even with holding your breath, it like you'd feel
You can
that.
feel it,
Yes.
like on your skin.
It's like you even holding you like choking down, like not like losing everything from your stomach. It's just like the awful that's coming out of there. It's like you can recognize that some of it might be flesh and stuff. Chunks of it is kind of black ichor that might have also been flesh and you know.
Yeah, I'm just gonna slowly close that,
Yes.
and then go to the other door.
Yes. Okay. You'll get to you're right there. What do you want to do? Just open it. Just Okay.
Hopefully without fluiding.
Yes, there probably won't be. Give me perception once you open it.
Oh, advantage. Oops. Do you want me to re-roll or
Yeah,
just
sure.
take 11?
Go ahead and reroll.
That's better.
All right. You do hear some voices. A couple of people that seem to be talking. They seem to be discussing. One of them's eating habits. That is disgusting, completely and utterly. And the other one is just like, and the other one apparently the one that's talking to is like, just because you don't eat doesn't mean anything. A great meal here and there will get you down. Some of you still drink rum, and you don't need that. What does it ever do to you anymore? Just because I can wash down what I have with a good glass of rum and appreciate it.
Is there, like, what else is in the room besides those people talking?
Well, it looks like it's kind of like a small hallway. It leads down to like on the same side as the door you're on. Like you're coming into the side of a hallway kind of thing, you know? Same side as you. You see like this open area, like this double door wide open area where it sounds like the voices are coming from. And then another door on the other side. And there are 3 doors that are like the other door that's on the same side as you of this hallway. And 3 doors sort of positioned equidistantly on the opposite side of the hallway from you. Like one that's pretty much right in front of you, one that's in the middle that's slightly ajar, and another one that's kind of like similarly closed but opposite the like 2 doors. So you're guessing like this is a very mirrored area almost a little bit, you know?
Can you draw like a quick representation of that hallway? Because there are a lot of doors.
Sure.
Apparently.
I can do that very quickly on the mini-map here. Where's that paintbrush? For hand. So it's like... let me get that out of the way. There's that. Here's the hall. Here's where you are. Door here. Door here. Right where you're opening. And then one here. This one is slightly ajar. And one over here. And here's where the voices are coming from. Okay.
So, I'm gonna go across the hall and listen and as I slowly peek into that room.
Okay.
So, this one first.
Okay. Alright, this room here, it seems to be probably what was once a small kitchen area. It is in complete disuse. There's nothing there. Like you know, it's got what would have been like a small enclosed area for like cooking something, like a small kind of stove, like maybe stove area.
Oh, it was a quick glance. Like, nothing I need, got it. Next.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I'm gonna try also casually to slip into the already ajar door and see what's in there.
Okay. You will be wide open to that area where the voices were coming from, though.
Are any of them looking this way?
Give me a perception and a stealth.
Oh, another stealth?
Yeah, give me another stealth and a perception.
Crap.
Yes. Okay.
Hey!
Alright. Let me just roll something here. Okay. Good to know. Alright, you can see this kind of, two figures. One of them seems to be, you're guessing was once a woman, but has like almost dessiccatedly skin tight, like skin, tight skin, like a dread white colored, and just seems to be sort of like sitting on a chair facing another one, where you see this kind of like, best described as like this obese kind of bloated creature with kind of like, it seems like
quartermaster?
No, you're not sure. But it's got this like kind of plate that even from here you recognize sort of what the plate of stuff is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. As it kind of like forks some of it and like eats it, it's kind of got like weird like large jowls and like flaps of skin, and you're not sure how it's like it like jiggles like when it eats a little bit, and it kind of almost seems to bloat a little bit more. It like seems to like move fine, but it seems like ungodly like obese that just seems to be like gorging itself on this material.
Someone needs to poke a hole in him.
No, they don't.
You don't want whatever in there coming out. It's probably stewing in there, and even worse.
Alright,
They do not seem to have noticed you at all, though.
Is one of them facing me, or are they both, like, perpendicular to me?
The one that's sort of a woman is facing the other one, and the other one is the one that's kind of facing where the door was, but it seems to be paying attention more to, well, eating right now.
Good. So yeah, I'll try slipping into that door.
Okay. This room is filled with all kinds of equipment. It's the quartermaster's room. So you're guessing one of those was the quartermaster talking with the other person.
I'm gonna go with the fat man. It's the quartermaster. But,
Eat anybody that doesn't like, coming in here.
I'm going to, look around for anything that, doesn't have a bunch of dust on it, because since we just got here, and it's only been like a day, his spellbook should be on one of the more recently formed piles.
Yeah, you will be able to find, give me a quick investigation check, just to see if you can find things really quickly.
I just realized that detect magic does not require a material component.
All right, I mean, you really can't tell. You can't really tell the difference between the dust and stuff. You're like looking around. You're like, I don't know. But given a little bit of time, you could definitely find his book in amongst things. There's stuff here, but his book is something that would definitely stand out, I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Most of this is like armor, weapons, that sort of thing. A couple of like tools. Maybe some like things like rope, extra rope in case you need, like it's needed here. Various things like that. Probably some stuff that would have been useful to living people too, that aren't. There's probably some gaming sets and things like that that might be useful to anybody. A couple bottles of what you're guessing would be rum.
I'm going to also grab, like, a deck of cards and a set of dice. If dice are, like, in a container and pressed down. They aren't like free in a bag.
Yeah, they're not free in a bag. They're in like some kind of like they're like a little box. You know, you open it up and there's some set of dice in there, kind of thing. You know?
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna grab those as well and his book, and then I'm gonna listen against the door and see if they're still talking.
They still seem to be having a conversation.
All right, then I'm going to go into get the hell out mode and try to get back out.
All right, you'll still be able to slip out. They're still pretty engrossed in it. Though as you kind of slip into the storage room, you do hear sounds. It sounds like probably the woman is leaving.
Okay, yeah. Then I'm gonna, like, now that I'm out of sight of them, move a little faster, not making noise off as much as I can, and just, like, get back to the door, and, WolfBurn, you're probably still next to the door yelling at people.
Yes.
Yeah, you'll hear just the lightest of raps against the door, saying, like, okay, move away and unblock it.
Yeah, and I'm obviously gonna kind of like turn attention, and I'm gonna use Mage Hand to open it, so I don't obviously have to be right next to it.
Okay. And you'll probably get some lashings here and there from someone that's complaining. Probably not the first mate. Probably someone else that came down as like, you know, get back to your cell kind of thing. And as you're moving back, you can quickly like Mage Hand and crawl and slip in with the rest of everyone else after you've caused this commotion for a bit.
Perfect.
Oi, you better be careful. They might not put up with your shenanigans for too long. As Tobin sort of leads you back to the room, you know, now that you've been whipped sufficiently.
WolfBurn's gonna have to lay on his side tonight.
Yeah. But now you have a spellbook and some gaming sets.
Yay.
Once we're back in our room, when Tobin and all them aren't paying attention, I'm gonna slip the spellbook over to WolfBurn and also show him like the cards and the dice and be like, we have currency.
And I'm just like, how is this? Sure.
They can't spend money. They don't eat. They don't really drink. What they can do is play.
Very well then.
And not everyone is going to have a set of dice or a deck of cards.
What you two talking about?
Oh, nothing.
How much I'm going to miss being alive.
Are you enjoying your slop? I know it's not much, but I mean, it's what we got for living folks.
I now have no problem eating the slop, as I saw what the quartermaster was eating. Oh, I also like whisper to WolfBurn. He does eat the flesh. That's all. Confirmed.
Interesting. So at some point I am going to I actually prepared Detect Magic so that way I can cast it quickly. Trying to decide if I want Magic Missile or Sleep. Sleep won't work. They're undead. Never mind. Magic Missile.
Okay. What's your next phase of your plan?
So...
Something else stupid, I assure you.
The one thing I do plan on doing, or one of the things I can do. Okay, so basically I can make like false aura. You can change the way, or no, by tech the mask. Yeah. Change the way a target appears to spells and magical effects that detect creature types. I am going to, next time Krago's sneaking around, I'm going to cast this on him so he appears undead to any sort of magic that may be around.
Okay.
Clever.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case something maybe only unlocks for, I don't know, undead or something like that, you know?
Okay.
Just in case.
I had a thought, but it's not gonna work.
Other than that, you know, mage armor for if things go down. Burning hands to burn things.
I mean, sometimes you need to burn stuff.
Yeah, sometimes you need to burn stuff. I doubt he got my diamond, so I can't cast Chromatic Orb. So I didn't prepare that.
I think he probably got all your stuff. I think it was probably all together. So he probably has your diamond, a little bag, a book, and your probably component pouch.
Okay,
If
then
he knew he needed it, he would have grabbed it, I'm going to say.
Okay, then instead of Burning Hands, I'm going to do Chromatic Orb, because that's a little bit more straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, I'm also probably going to go for... You know what? I'm going to have Chromatic Orb be my only offensive spell, and instead of Magic Missile... No, I'm going to have Magic Missile... Oh gosh, what do I want? Sorry.
Yes.
I have to decide, because it's kind of important. I kind of want Identify prepared now, as well, just in case we need to identify something on the spot.
Might be helpful.
If you have
'cause-
the money requirement, like the item that is required.
yeah, we determined that I did. If I have my pearl, or if I have my diamond, then I probably also have my pearl.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So...
But
Yeah,
I
let's do
didn't
identify.
steal that, and they would have taken that.
I mean, they probably...
He said
they were
the
smart enough
spellbook was probably with that.
Yeah, they're smart enough to understand a component pouch, which probably had some other, small components in it, and they probably just threw that all down together,
Oh, okay.
rather than look through it. I mean, usually when you see, a component pouch and, open it up, usually you see, there's, twigs and, other weird, herbs and, dragon tooths and stuff, and you're like, what the frick is this? Whatever.
Glowing moss.
Yeah. Granted,
Yeah.
they might have spotted something, but also, they realized he was a spellcaster. So...
Yeah. And they did bring up that they would want to keep it around for possible use for me in the future.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of turn towards WolfBurn and say, well, you got your rations. Now it's time for mine. And I'm just gonna walk out of the room, and
I'm gonna cast that spell on him beforehand, then at least.
Okay.
all right, sure.
It only takes an action if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check, but I think it's just an action. Yeah, one action, so I can do it as you're walking away.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make my way to the stairs up to the deck.
Okay.
And pretty much, if this was battle time, I'll say dash for my first turn, and just instantly jump and flap my wings to go shooting up out of that, and then pretty much fly to the captain's quarters while being in dodge from there on.
Okay. Alright, so you'll blast out into the fog. I mean, there's probably some, head turns about, what the heck was that? Some noise down on deck. And you have an idea probably where the captain's quarters are from the information you've gained from Tobin. So you sort of fly to the back of the ship under the wheel, to where the captain's quarters are, and land.
Knock, knock, knock.
Okay. You'll kind of hear this noise of heavy booted feet coming up, and kind of just what is it? Swinging open the door.
Is it the guy that I punched from before?
Yes.
That's captain. All right,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna clock him again.
All right, make an attack roll.
It hit last time.
Yes. Yes, it did. You did hit last time.
And harder.
Yes.
And I just kind of say, hello again.
He'll kind of have this kind of weird look of both okay.
before he like starts yelling or whatever, I'm pretty much just gonna be like, I decided to come to talk, and I figured I should say hello in the manner we've become accustomed to.
Okay. He's gonna kind of size you up for like a couple of seconds, not say anything. Well then, let's talk, mate. As he kind of walks and sits down behind this kind of like large desk, you know, he'll kind of like thump down. He kind of seems to walk with this kind of strange, almost limp. As you see a kind of familiar-looking object sitting on his desk. It seems like something that was part of that treasure that got brought back.
I walk in, close the door behind me, and
Can I ask a question, even though, like, technically this is Croft?
Yeah.
Is it the piece that the turtle was interested in?
No.
Okay.
But it was part of the same kind of collection of stuff that he was around, that he was hanging around with. The turtle was walking for something else that was part of it. But
Yeah, okay.
so tell me why I shouldn't either get you killed right now, or basically do something much worse than death to you.
I just kind of give whatever smile and air Cochra can give, and just say, because I'm your favorite of the newbies.
He kind of he'll give the best thing that he can call like a smile for himself and be like, doesn't mean much usually.
Of course not. But, I was just curious. I heard that you had, found something interesting, and I noticed that it is probably that thing on your desk. The ship is called Lost Hope, from an island that we had recently escaped from, let's say. And on top of that, someone said your name was Thorn.
Aye.
I've heard that name before. And all of this is kind of adding up to something strange, and the fact that other people deteriorate, that you steal souls and stay living, all this is very interesting to me. I'm a monk of the long death.
I don't know much about your ways and studies, but death is something I've come to know greatly.
And it is something that my monastery wishes to understand. We are not particular about a god, per se, more of the way of death.
Well, so what? You're trying to like just volunteer to have all of your folks join my crew? Is that it? You seeking to get the curse for yourself? And the name Thorn. Oh, that island. I should have known he'd name it after me. My ship. An ultimate insult after he took this little number here from me.
It seems as though your undeath is tied to vengeance.
Well, let's just say I don't particularly love my family anymore.
Brother?
He'll just sort of like sneer again.
Well, by blood, not that you wish it, obviously.
There is no honor apparently amongst pirates, even those that should be the closest. And I did not take kindly to that. But it seems like you folks found his treasure.
Yes, we had a bit of a run-in with him.
Oh.
Not me personally, I was incapacitated at the time. But my crew member, WolfBurn, if you bring him up here, he could tell you all about it.
You've piqued my interest.
Thank you, I was planning to.
He'll just sort of sit there and stare at you for a couple of minutes, and then WolfBurn will be drugged and thrown in there by two people from down below. He made no mention, said nothing, and so, it's just like, he gets drugged up there, thrown in.
You can send your will through your people. Interesting.
Wheel through the ship. Thank you very much.
Is the ship not one of your people? From what I hear, you join the ship, you join the crew, it's all one. To an extent.
Seems like you two are special. Tell me your story. And maybe I can, give you two a promotion to begin with.
I just kind of turned to WolfBurn. Tell him about Thorn. I'm good. Go ahead.
Okay. I will. I'll tell him about the island a little bit. No, I'll skip the part about the goblins because he probably doesn't care. But I'll tell him about the boat we found in that cavern. That
Yes.
The whites that were there. How we found our way to the place with the buried treasure. I will tell him about the notes, or I'll basically summarize the notes that were written in that journal, and tell him about how he was a vampire and such, and the treasure. And I'll also tell him about how I destroyed the massacre or whatnot.
Okay.
And just as a kind of I'm being very matter of fact and straightforward, just telling him exactly what happened.
Good.
So he was cursed too. I would have loved to have found vengeance against him myself.
Well?
Sorry, give me a second here. Why are you visiting? You should go check out your daddy.
Because you're my dad.
No, I'm not. I'm your uncle. Come on, go. She wandered in. See, I set up things just to keep her away, and she has to wander in.
Oh yeah, occasionally a child's always gonna wander in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's Joe?
Joe's not here. Sorry. Looking for Joe. Anyway, so without that, beyond the interruption, so I was saying, I would have liked to have gotten vengeance on him myself, though.
Well, if we had known you previously, we would have brought him to you.
Probably wouldn't have been as easy. Just snatching the treasure and holding on to it with all his dear hands. Bastard. How would you like a greater gift than I've given you already? Those marks are nothing but a parlor trick. Used to keep the rest of them in line.
Oh, by the way, I would have cast Detect Magic on that thing. I'm guessing necromancy, but at the same time, I'm kind of curious.
It's got some kind of curse on it. It's mostly necromancy. Probably a couple of necromantic effects.
Mm-hmm.
Generally speaking, it seems to have some kind of atrophy effect on you. So it's probably going to be a slow and steady process.
Okay.
You would assume that probably you'd begin to lose probably Constitution eventually until you hit 0 at some point in time. Over a period of time, maybe months, years, you're not sure how long. And eventually then, once you reach 0, guess what? You're undead.
Of course.
You slowly but surely get sicker and sicker and sicker until you're one of them. And then it resets to things, because, undead do have, actual scores in 5th. But I'm just using that as a representation. Sick until you die. Yeah. But, he'll say, little mark on your arms is just a parlor trick in comparison to what the great power of the ship can be. A brand, a cursed brand. Nothing to do with the curse of the ship, mind you. But you gotta get a crew somehow. And you seem like fellers that'll be much better, with a much better role to you.
Hmm.
You're brazen,
I
and seem capable.
turn to WolfBurn and I'm trying to hide the genuine interest in his offer.
You'll also actually notice that WolfBurn is also a little bit curious. Oh, the worst two you could have sent on this mission.
God,
Right.
yeah.
The mage, who, you know, power.
Yeah.
And the long death monk.
Yeah.
But anyway, I still care about friends. So,
Yes.
so you turn to me?
Yeah, just like decisions.
But what about those on our ship that we left?
I understand you. You're connected to them. How about this?
At least one of them.
I can arrange for you to be connected to them all the time.
Uh-oh. And how would that work?
Not like a centipede, yes.
Oh gosh!
No, no human centipede here. I mean, no. He'll go over to this cabinet, that's sort of built into the wall, unlock it, and open it up, and you'll see it's got, on these top shelves, these sort of orbs of swirling green, where, like, occasionally you can notice, like, it looks like almost this, like, the face of someone kind of appear on it. Each of them seemingly, like, howling a little bit. You know, just this, like, eerie kind of things. But, like, below there, on this, like, kind of, like, in this open case, is this kind of rusty brand that the end of it seems to be still burning.
The
And then
birds just fucking rush this guy right now.
And below there, there's a number of shelves. He sort of, like, peels it one shelf at a time. He's kind of looking for something. And then he's like, You may have destroyed one mask, but it was part of a set. That once the one was removed from the other, the curse was activated. But you too can taste the true curse of it. The curse of a god of death. Stolen masks of high priests, twins. Me brother did not realize the curse in hand, so it seemed to reach him himself. You too could take the curse, become something like me or one of my officers. I've been in need of some more right-hand man. And then he's gonna pick up like
Since we're in front of him, what is he? Can we tell?
Sure. Well, okay. Give me religion check. That's a good thing.
Oh my gosh.
Alright. Craw, you are not quite sure what he is. He seems to be a relatively powerful undead, I will say.
I turn towards WolfBurn like, the offer is so nice right now.
Oh, well then I'm just gonna straight up ask him, and what are you?
Something unique is a good way of saying it.
Hmm.
The curse took a strange turn on me. I feel like perhaps I would have become something similar to what you call it. Something similar to what you mages try to become. Except me soul,
Lich.
I except me soul is bound to the ship itself. So as long as this ship stands, so do I.
Dang it. Anyway.
Clock working.
He's then gonna pick up like one of the orbs and be like, "Hey, this is the one." He's gonna like rub it, and you'll see a familiar-looking kind of face go apart it for a second. And then another one that kind of looks like a turtle, and yes.
Is one of them Megrel?
Yes.
One of the.
It seems like the souls of those that are trapped. But it's, I'll save this one for ye.
What will that do?
Well, other than crushing the souls of your friends forever in a way, you can become one with them. Grant yourself greater powers and strength. It's a process that's difficult to do, but I'd be willing to grant you your old friends. It can be painful, even in death it's painful, to devour souls.
Damn our friends for all eternity, but get much stronger.
Is it possible to go through with this and simply have at least some of them return to their bodies?
Oh, you got a soft spot for a few of them. I like you too. Perhaps one or two could be freed for you. You don't need all of them. There are a great deal in here.
Wait, is it one orb that has a bunch of souls?
Yes, it seems to be, each orb seems to be like a ship full of souls.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm so tempted to just like message Ollie and be like, "Hey, so this is what's going on. Do you want to be undead with us? It looks like a pretty good deal."
Ship of the Dead? You want to join a Ship of the Dead? Have completely different adventures?
It's really funny, but it's not a bad deal, and wow, we are the worst people.
You kinda are, but that's okay.
I'm actually messaging.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and it totally fits my alignment of chaotic neutral.
Want to join a Ship of the Dead? Wow.
I also want to point out that my ideal is self-improvement and the betterment of oneself.
Wow.
I will say, though, return the ones closest to us, and gosh dang it.
Ollie doesn't sound too excited about it compared to...
I bet not.
Yeah.
Meta character. Meta character.
See, what?
Where's you?
Like, we know for a fact that Barter wouldn't be as
Oh, no.
excited.
No, Lawful Good, no. He wouldn't be.
Lawful good rogue, what the hell?
Was he? I thought he was something other than a rogue, but I guess he might have been a rogue.
No, he was a rogue.
No, he was a rogue.
That's right, he was lawful good rogue. Wow.
He went the I am essentially someone who combats crime using rogue abilities.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's the, what better way to undo a criminal than to learn what criminals would do, kind of thing.
Yeah. So
I'm looking at the time, and it's almost been an hour, so this seems like a good discussion break.
Yeah, I guess
maybe.
let's take a break so you two can discuss it for a little bit too. That's probably a good idea. We can do it a little early, but that's fine. It's just so you can figure out what you guys want to do, and we can come back from break and come up with a decision. So, all right, everyone, we're going to take our second break, and we'll be back for the last hour of Once Upon a Misadventure. And I hope you will join us for figuring out if we're going to go undead and see a real interesting shift on the adventure here. Bye.
Bye.